During the last decade, there has been a cultural shift from healthy educational children's dance to harmful hypersexualized children's dance by using adult costumes, sexually suggestive choreography, and music with inappropriate sexual themes and lyrics. The art form of children's dance has been hijacked, says my guest today. We're going to unpack what that means. Welcome to the Unconventional Ministry Podcast. I'm Dennis Weens, your host, Senior Impact Catalyst at Sat7 USA. Sat7 USA is our sponsor for this podcast, and I encourage you to go to their website, sat7usa.org, and check out some of the things Sat7 is doing for the people across the Middle East and North Africa. My guest today is Mary Bawden. She's a dance educator. She's an author. She's the founder and president of Dance Awareness, No Child Exploited. In 2016, Mary published a book entitled Dance is Prayer in Motion. The book focuses on the educational approach to using conceptual movement as a communication tool for worship. She's been on church staff. She has a bachelor's degree in modern dance. She has a master's in worship. So Mary Bawden, it's great to welcome you back to the Unconventional Ministry Podcast.
Well, I'm so happy to be back, and I so enjoyed connecting with you, Dennis. So it's fun to hear you again. Dance is a pretty current topic in our culture. It's influencing a lot of people, but especially children, I think.
So we got a lot to talk about, and I was reading on your website, if the strength of dance is visual communication, and if we live in a culture that communicates visually, why aren't Christian dancers being mobilized as a visual tool for the communication of the gospel? I really like that question you've asked, and I wonder how you would respond.
Well, it's interesting, Dennis. Healthy dance, which is a term I use as a dance educator, versus harmful dance. But healthy dance, actually, if you pull the thread of that term, it really should reflect the glory of God. It reflects joy and so many wonderful ingredients. And so the church should be the first place that's presenting their bodies as spiritual worship, integrated worship, mind, body, and spirit, God's idea, not my idea. I'm not sure why we're not mobilizing dancers in the church as we should. But I think that one of the issues is we're uncomfortable talking about the body. And sometimes that gets to be a challenge, even though we know God created the body and that we're to give glory to Him through how we move. And I would just challenge your listeners. I believe whether you're in a formal dance class or not, you're a dancer and you're choreographing every day because you move in non-locomotor and locomotor ways. We all sit, that's non-locomotor, it's static. We all go and brush our teeth. We walk to the bathroom and get the toothbrush out. So that's locomotor. And if you look at the technical base of dance, it's non-locomotor and locomotor. So therefore, there's a huge group of dancers in the church, and we're not mobilizing the whole understanding of worship, lifestyle worship, whether it's in a dance classroom or it's going to church. And I think it would be a wonderful, wonderful way to mobilize the church to talk about what worship is and to engage people with the wonder of the physical body.
Maybe one of the reasons why the church doesn't use dance as much as you would like is because the broader culture and society has hijacked children's dance. And you started an organization, Dance Awareness, because of that, to be a voice and an advocate for healthy dance. But how serious is this negativity about dance, and where's the dance for children going?
Well, it's very serious. One of the things we like to promote in dance is an awareness of the terms healthy and harmful. And that is because with the advent of the internet media and porn culture, we have had an explosion of inappropriate sexuality exposed for all of us, not just children, but particularly children. And of course, it's harmful. And for some reason, there's been a malaise in the culture about speaking out about that. And so we like to share the good outcomes for healthy dance, but we also educate and let people know about the harmful outcomes from harmful dance, which is connected to the porn industry. When we hypersexualize little people, make them into mini adults, hypersexualize them in adult costumes, choreography, and music. The brain research shows this affects children negatively. The psychological research shows this affects children negatively for a lifetime.
From your perspective, what drives trends using adult costumes and sexual suggestive choreography in dance? What's behind this? Because you were talking about how prevalent this is. Is it because people are uneducated, unaware, and they're just drawn into the broader culture? Or what's behind this developing scenario?
Well, if your listeners could see me, they would see me rub my fingers together. It has a lot to do with money. And if we are not critically thinking about the things that we choose to engage in, all of a sudden we can be sucked or pulled into evil patterns. And this trend to hypersexualize has groomed parents to normalize what is not normal. And of course, our children are being groomed to normalize what is not normal. And it is a lack of education. It is being unaware because everybody's busy. They work hard, they get home, they're fixing chicken for dinner, and then they help their kids do their homework, and everybody goes to sleep, and everybody wakes up and does it again. And I think with the advent of the internet, which has been such a powerful tool in the culture, and that wasn't around 25 years ago, right? We really didn't have this kind of exposure to the internet. And the internet's not regulated, so the porn industry has come in and we've allowed it to influence us. Researchers call that mirror neurons. We copy what we see. Again, adults and children are impacted by just copying what they see. So if you don't push back, if you don't critically think about it, then all of a sudden you're engaged in things that are inappropriate.
I know offline we were talking about some of the new resources that you're providing, and there's really limited resources for what you're doing. So congratulations on your ministry, Dance Awareness. And tell our podcast listeners some of the resources you have and how they can appropriate them for their own dance studios or for their children in dance, for their local church. What are some of the things you're doing for dance awareness?
Well, I'd like to first let your listeners know that all of our resources are free. We're affiliated with the National Center on Sexual Exploitation in Washington, D.C. So all of our research is evidence-based. And researcher Gail Dines calls it a pornified culture. Researcher Philip Adams calls these trends corporate pedophilia. So, of course, that's why we're producing a website that will really help people to be educated about what's going on. We have some really exciting things happening. One thing I'd like to share with your listeners right now is the Healthy Dance Directory. And what that is a national, and actually we've got some entries from Canada already, so it may be more than national, Healthy Dance Directory, where you can come to dance awareness. And if you're in Florida and you're moving to South Dakota and you want to find a healthy dance studio for your child, or you're a dance educator who agrees with healthy dance, then you can find all the listings of healthy dance organizations and studios in the country. And so we're really excited about this. And your listeners can look on our website and you'll see Healthy Dance Directory. They can nominate a healthy dance studio that they know of or organization. And then once they nominate that dance studio and organization, we send that dance studio or organization an email where they have to accept the nomination. Of course, there is a definition of healthy and harmful dance on both the nomination process and for the acceptance of the nomination. So that's just one thing. We also have something called a dance coalition, We're opening up the doors in the Dance Coalition to any adult who wants to protect children from hypersexualization in adult costumes, choreography, and music. And if you go on to our website, ELC Dance Coalition, you just sign up. We are promising you we will not inundate you with newsletters every day or every week. We will just keep you up to date on what's happening in this area. And please be aware that whether your child takes dance or not, they're watching it. They're watching it. They all have cell phones. They all go to the movies. They all stream on their computers and watch TV. So all children are impacted by hypersexualized dance, whether they do it or not. So join the Dance Coalition. Again, it's free. And then we have another initiative called My Dance Why, in which any person can upload 15 to 30 seconds on their phone to our website address and tell us why they don't agree with hypersexualized dance. We have a sample of that video on our website. You can sign up for the dance newsletter. You can like us on Facebook. We have a free ebook that's 14 pages. What's the new trend in children's dance? How to choose a healthy dance studio, how to avoid a harmful dance studio. We have videos from 30 seconds to 35 minutes. So, hey, folks, check out danceawareness.com.
And you have help for parents that maybe want to ask questions of their dance studio and don't know what questions to ask. You provide the right questions that parents need to be asking their dance studio. You've got a template letter that a parent can send to the dance studio to make sure that they're not being drawn into this hypersexualization of dance.
Well, we really recommend to read the free ebook, and there's a lot of ways to check out a dance studio, but the first thing I would do is you make an appointment with the dance studio owner and ask her what's her position on adult costumes, choreography, and music. You're going to find out right away. You don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be polarizing. You can be respectful, but you ask the questions to protect your child.
Well, Mary, this is fascinating to listen to you explain children's dance. I should say healthy children's dance.
Thank you, Dennis.
I have to get the right terminology, and I'll encourage my podcast listeners to always put healthy dance together when they talk about dance that their children are doing, just like Mary's taught us to do here. So, Mary, this is fascinating, and I trust our podcast listeners will go to your website. Give your website again.
www.danceawareness.com.
And once you get on the website, there's just tremendous resources for you. And I encourage you to forward this podcast on to parents who have their children in dance, forward it on to your church, talk to your dance studios, and help Mary spread the word about healthy dance for children. So, Mary, thank you for coming on the Unconventional Ministry podcast to enlighten us and to instruct us about healthy dance.
My pleasure.
This is the Unconventional Ministry podcast. If you've enjoyed this conversation, please share it with your friends and leave a comment. Sat7 is a Middle East and North Africa broadcast media ministry making God's love visible and the gospel available to everyone in the Middle East and North Africa. Sat7 USA has resources in helping you honor God while protecting your family. You can avoid another regret, which is the failure of not creating an estate plan. Through a partnership with Financial Planning Ministry, Sat7 USA provides Christian experts to assist you in preparing your will or trust, all at no financial cost to you. Visit www.sat7usa.org and click on the tab Planned Giving for more information. Sat7 simplifies the process and makes it easy for you so that your family and friends don't have to bear the burden and regret of your failure to create an estate plan. Thank you again for joining this episode of the Unconventional Ministry podcast.